Hello, English 101 students. I wanted to get you ready for the next assignment, which will be a research report for Module 2. And although it's not due until June 10th, which can seem like a long time away, but it comes on pretty quickly. And I want to make sure that you understand the assignment and what you need to do for this particular activity, give you time to even send me a draft if you want, or run something by me. And so you can have time to revise it. So for your research report, you're going to be sharing your sources. So at this point in time, you're exploring your topic, and hopefully you're really excited about your topic. And from what I gather, it does seem that you're I would say the majority of you are pretty comfortable with your topic. So if you do decide to switch, just make sure you run it by me. And because if you're waffling too much and going back and forth on topics, then you're not going to be able to explore one topic in the depth that you should be. So with that in mind, I wanted to share my screen with you, just go over a checklist. But first, let me just take you to the actual assignment so you can take a look at it if you haven't had a chance to see it yet. So let me share the screen with you. I hope you're all doing well. Let's see, it should be right here. Okay. So this is what it looks like. If you haven't had a chance to look at it, as I said, and it's not due until June 10th. So you do have a ways to go, but you just wanted to go over a few things. So it's a 5-paragraph essay. It's brief. When I say brief, I mean brief, which means you shouldn't be including, more than 2 sources, let's say. Okay. It's just kind of a dress rehearsal. You're practicing integrating your sources into your writing. And so that's the goal of this assignment. If you have too many sources, it's just going to, first of all, it's going to be a cut and paste kind of situation. And then the chances, you're going to increase the risk that you will be using this, relying too much on the sources, and you lose your own voice. And that's not what we want to do. So what I would like you to do is here's an outline that you can go by. You can include, some people like a lot of structure and they want to know exactly what they need to do, and that's fine. So in the body paragraph 1, you're just going to have a summary of general information from a reference source. So one of your sources, you're just going to summarize that particular source. And then in the next paragraph, you'll go into more detail, maybe from an online source that you find. And you want to make sure it's credible. That's very important. So Wikipedia is not a credible source. You want to avoid all blogs. Any kind of a blog is usually not going to be credible. They'll refer to sources and research, but you want to go to the actual research itself versus a blog, which is just an overview. And you also don't know if the blog user is a credible person or an expert in that field. So that's also why you would like to go to the actual source and the research. For the paragraph 3, this could be a summary of your findings of one article in the academic database. So that would mean going to find like a journal where you would go to the library, Hoffman Library, and do a search and find a journal article on your topic. Okay, so that's that. To format it, you're going to be using APA style. So, and I have a checklist for you, which I'll also post in Canvas, and it's kind of it has some links there, quick links where you can go to review APA guidelines for in-text citations, for the reference page, which is your last page, which it's going to include your 2 sources, and then the title page as well. So you want to make sure those pieces are there. So, and some helpful tips here, since your essay will be leading up to the point you make in your 3rd body paragraph, it'll be useful to have an idea of what you're going to be writing about in this paragraph before you write the rest of your essay. These are just tips for you. And then I'll let you just look this over on your own. And there's a sample research report on cyberbullying and one on methadone right here, these two samples. If you want to click on those and go into them and review those, you can do that. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing and we'll go into, I just want to show you quickly a checklist that I have. And again, I'll post this on, I will post this in Canvas for you. Let's see. All right. So this is due. I don't know if I can put the due date on there. I'm not sure if it'll stay, but anyway, I'll fill that in for you later. So this is just a checklist for the upcoming assignment in Module 2, Research Writing and APA. For the next writing piece, you're going to share objectively. So these are the things you want to avoid. And one of them is to avoid using I. So this is what I found, and this is how I feel about it. And with the image artifact analysis, it was more of a creative piece. And so you could use first person and talk about it more reflectively and in a creative way. But in this particular assignment, you're going to, it's kind of a dress rehearsal for the research report, your writing, your final culminating piece. So you want to avoid using that those personal pronouns. I believe, I think, I disagree. Okay. So use a couple of sources you've discovered which are most relevant and informative. So say you already have like 4 or 5 sources that you found. You're just going to be looking at a couple of them. Okay. And I don't want you to go beyond that. So let's just say a website article that you find and a journal article. So that's 2. And so you're going to integrate the sources into your discussion appropriately. Appropriately being the operative word there. Refer to this handout. And so I have a link for you. They Say, I Say from Graf, Gerald, and Kathy Birkenstein. And it's just simply, it's a template of different ways that you can introduce quotes, some transitional words and phrases. And we speak in a different way when we're speaking academically, when we're speaking with our friends in a colloquial, more conversational tone. We use words like, and like, and we just use more slang, idiomatic expressions, and that's completely fine. I do it myself. So, but when you're writing, you have to write more formally. And so there's a particular tone, and there's certain words and phrases you want to avoid using. So this is kind of a cheat sheet. It helps you. And let me try to click on it and see. I hope I can get back. I think I'll be able to. There we go. As you can see, there's quite a few. The X is just replacing the particular author, whoever you're referring to. So say, I'll use my last name. So Brown insists, or according to Brown, in her book or in the article, whatever, if it's a journal article, the article in the study entitled, and you'd give the title, and then you'd give the name of the person that you're quoting maintains that. So the X is just that variable placed in there, and you replace it with your source. Okay. So here it's there's introducing quotations. It's a way to introduce quotations. You don't have to use these, but it's if you're kind of at a loss and you're not sure what you should use, then it's helpful. And here's a way to explain quotations. Let's see, introducing something implied or assumed. Although Brown does not say it directly, she assumes that. And then, so this is a way to get you to speak more objectively without imposing yourself in the writing. And here's agreeing with differences, agreeing and disagreeing simultaneously. So it gives you all different types and ways and manners of speaking that are more formal and academic. And then on the bottom, there's a list of transitions that you can use accordingly, as a result, consequently, therefore. These are really important for the flow of your ideas, to go from one idea to the next. So when you're making comparisons, you want to say things like similarly, likewise, in the same way, along the same lines. When you're contrasting a couple of things, say you're talking about something, misogyny in the past, misogynist behaviors in the past, by contrast today, and then you would, give your differences or similarity, if you're talking about differences. Similarities would be, obviously, in addition to, or in the same way, etc. And then addition would be furthermore, in addition, and so on and so forth. So those are very helpful as well. So that's just kind of a little cheat sheet for you to, I'm sure there's more you could find as well if you Googled it. Let's see if I can get back now. This is where I have a little trouble. Let's see. I think I hate to just stop sharing. There we go, resume share. All right. And then, so you'll use transitional words and phrases to introduce quotes. And then I gave you a few examples too, such as according to, or as Dr. Frank states in his article. And then you would include the name of the article. And then there's your quote from Dr. Frank's. And then in the parentheses, you'd have the date of the publication with a page number or the paragraph number, or it would be the organization if you don't have a date, and you would include N period D period for no date. Limit it to one or two favorites, as I said, one from a website, credible, and one from a journal. Wikipedia is not a credible source. Avoid blogs. As I said before, it's best to avoid sites that refer to research. So I know I see that quite a bit, like according to the research, according to the studies. And so you want to get away from saying that. You want to refer specifically to the researcher or to the research, the name of it, the study, okay? So go to the actual research article. That's another reason you should be avoiding blogs. Make sure you use the APA properly, citing sources in the appropriate manner. So this particular assignment, you will be graded on how you're using APA. It's really important that all the pieces are there, that you have your title page and it's set up correctly, and that you are integrating and using in-text citations appropriately, and that you have a reference page, and it doesn't just say sources with, the URL address on there. It has to be that each website, journals have to be set up in a particular, very technical way, okay? So below are links to the APA guidelines. So I included the Hoffman Library APA Basics, very useful, the Module 2 Read, Watch, Listen, which some of you might have seen already if you're onto Module 2. And with examples of in-text citations. There's very clear examples of how to do the, what to do if there's no date, what to do if you don't have a date. What to do if you don't have the, how to list the organization's name, and so on and so forth. So, and then there's also the OWL, Purdue, and APA in-text citation basics. And that will take you directly to the page that talks about in-text citations as well. So hopefully this has been helpful for you. Again, it's not due until June 10th, but I wanted to make sure that you had clear understanding so you can kind of process it and jot some ideas down now and, start your rough draft, start brainstorming. Don't wait till the last minute. And just remember that for this particular assignment, you're not going to be writing in the first person I. You can use, it's all going to be third person. So it would be objective, an objective way of speaking. So you can replace, to avoid you as well. Second person you. So you could replace you with one. One finds that funding is not available for staffing in the nursing profession, say, I don't know. So, and again, if you want to leave enough time so that if you want to even send me something, if you're just not sure and you don't feel comfortable submitting it yet, you can always send it to me via email before you formally submit it. And I can look it over and then put some comments on there and send it back if you wanted to do that. And if you don't, and you do submit it, obviously before the due date or on the due date, then remember, you can always revise. So I'll put comments on it. And if you're not happy with the grade that you received and you know that you can revise it based on the comments and you have a better idea of how to do it, I strongly recommend that you revise it and for a better grade. And the more important thing is to help you with your writing, because there's revision is essential. It just is. That's how writing goes. It wouldn't be great if we could all just like write a polished piece first time around or second time around or third time around. There's always something to be improved. Okay, so I'm sitting here on campus and I hope everyone is doing well. And I hope this was helpful for you. I will post this in module 2, I believe, is where I'll put the checklist. And actually, I'll put this video in the announcements. So I'll probably, what I'll do is create an announcement and just pop this in there or through email, depending. So you'll get it. You'll see it. All right. So I hope you have a wonderful Memorial weekend and you do something fun with your family and everybody's, has a few laughs and does something that, makes you feel good. And that's it. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.